Next gen is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. That is right, the PlayStation 5 is out, and I was lucky enough to get my hands on one on launch day. It took me about 3 hours or so. It was the middle of the night. Me and my girlfriend managed to snag one right off of Target, and I went and picked it up as soon as I woke up. And I'm just here to let you guys know, when PlayStation 5 delivers, I mean it. They deliver with that next-gen experience. As soon as you turn it on and update, oh man, oh man, oh man. The UI is absolutely beautiful. As you can see, I have it on my monitor right back here, and I haven't let go of it since I got my hands on it. First of all, one of the first things I want to say is thank you so much, Sony. By the way, this video is not sponsored by Sony whatsoever. Thank you so much, Sony. I appreciate what the love that you brought into this console. You put so much love into it. You put so much love into the UI, the video games, the controller, the design. Oh yeah, and we will get into the design of everything. And the first thing I want to talk about is that console. This console is pretty big. It's pretty big compared to the Series X, the PlayStation 4, any other console I've ever seen in any lifetime. This one is humongous, and I believe it's humongous for a reason. With all that stuff packaged inside, I believe within the next 5 years or so, we will be getting games that will push this console to its limit. Just as when the PlayStation 4 first came out, we got a few games that looked absolutely stunning and beautiful, but towards the end of its life cycle, that's when we really saw what the PlayStation 4 can truly deliver. So, with that being said, yeah, this PlayStation 5 is absolutely massive. It's not that big, but it also has this sort of default looking display to it, meaning I feel like if you have the PlayStation 5 and your home theater is all black, it won't really look like it belongs there. Which I am glad that they brought customizable plates, which people have already begun doing, making their own black design to it, Spider-Man design, which is pretty cool. There was also a company that released a website where you can make and order customized plates, but they seem to have been taken down by Sony themselves. So hopefully within a few months or so, we will see customizable plates from these Sony officials. But besides that, yeah, it's a pretty big console. Next to my computer, maybe a few inches off from being the same size. Then let's talk about the other baby boy, the controller. Oh yeah, what a beautiful controller this is. It's about the same size as the Xbox One or even the Xbox 360 controller. And compared to a PS4 controller, it's pretty girthy. Pretty girthy, oh yeah. DualSense 4 versus DualSense 5. Besides it being big, that's not what really this brings to the table. What it really brings is another, once again, next-gen experience. Not to throw shade to other next-gen consoles that just released, but they didn't really put anything on the table to make me go, oh man, I need this. But when I heard developers and even early reviewers talking about what this controller does, I knew I had to get my hands on it. So straight out of the box, with the PlayStation 5, they give you Astro's Playroom, which is a free PlayStation 5 fully developed game for the PlayStation 5. And must I say, oh yeah, everybody should try it. If you remember when the Switch came out, one of the first games that released with it was Super Mario Odyssey, and it showed what that small console can deliver to its consumers. And with this controller in Astro's Playroom, it can show what this console can deliver with its consumers, not only graphics-wise, but with the controller. So, with these triggers here, they have an adaptive trigger. So, meaning what it does is, while you're playing, depending on what you're playing, whether it's Call of Duty or you're flying a rocket ship or so, and you need to put a little pressure on here, it will literally let you know that you need to put pressure because, for example, in Call of Duty, while you're aiming down sights, and you have a heavy gun in your hand, you will notice the difference from knifing somebody or aiming down a rocket launcher, and you're gonna feel that pressure. You're gonna have to push down hard to aim down sights, and then pulling that trigger. It also has this like trigger, like it really feels like you're pulling a trigger while playing Call of Duty. Or with Astro's Playroom, I should say there is a certain part in the game where a bunch of little characters in the game, it shows the characters entering your controller, and when you shake the controller, it feels as if these little characters are bouncing up and down in the controller, and they're screaming up and down in the controller. Or while you're walking around certain environments like glass or sand or so, you can feel the grittiness of the sand, or the light taps of the glass. It's truly different. It's really different. You won't get this on a Series X, and you won't get this while playing on a keyboard and mouse. So thank you, Sony, for that also. Another thing I wanted to talk about was loading times in this console. They're pretty much non-existent. I remember the first time I played Spider-Man PlayStation 4. Yeah, it took a very long time to load in New York City and to start swinging around as Spider-Man in Manhattan. It took maybe about a few minutes, and we got a nice loading screen which displayed our suit and some nice music. But with the PlayStation 5, there is none of that. And if you can see, as in the video in the background, it took maybe just a few seconds to load in Spider-Man Miles Morales. Absolutely insane. Sony truly delivered an amazing next-gen experience. And that all happened because we switched from HDDs to SSDs, which changes the way everything will play and load in next-gen consoles. And Xbox Series S also got this, so props to them, because we're gonna get these experiences with no loading screens like never before. So I can't wait for future games like Rockstar with GTA 6. Hopefully, let's see what they bring to the table now that we have these amazing consoles. Another thing I wanted to talk about now was playing games on here is fantastic. And one of the things that I noticed while playing games is the ray tracing. Every game now seems to, especially developed for next gen, everyone talks about ray tracing. Ray tracing allows lights to be casted onto environments and illuminate differently, and it gives off this more realistic environment, which is really cool. And it's shown off in a lot of games, but it truly is on the developers to make it right. And what I mean is, while playing Black Ops Cold War, there's ray tracing support. But while I turned it on, the game was absolutely horrendous, lost tons of frames, and I don't believe it's the PlayStation's fault whatsoever. I think this is upon the developers now to have their hands upon these developing tools and say, are we going to make it right, or are we just going to rush it in? It was truly scary because I thought it was my PlayStation's fault, but I noticed all around the table, not just on the Xbox Series X and on my PlayStation 5, horrible experience. But that's okay. I'm glad they allowed the option to turn it off. It seems as if a lot of games are capped at 60 FPS. There's also certain games that give you a performance mode or a fidelity mode, which is what Miles Morales calls it, where most games are capped at 30 FPS, but give you ray tracing and that full next-gen experience, fantastic graphics. You can see every piece of snowflake landing on your body. And then there's performance mode, where it's capped at 60 FPS. You get those faster frame rates, and the game still looks beautiful. That's pretty much how I played Miles Morales the entire time, and that's how I truly liked it. I don't really care for the graphics. I care for performance more. The PlayStation 5 does run at a full 120 frames per second on supported games, of course. A lot of games do support it, but I don't have any monitor. I have one monitor. It's the Alienware. It does run over 144 hertz, but I have not found the option to get 120 frames on there. So I just play at 60 FPS, and it's still a huge major difference from playing on 30 FPS on most games on the PlayStation 4. Another thing I wanted to talk about was how straight out of the box, it says you get 825 gigs of storage, but once you install that UI and update it, there's about 630 to 640 gigs. And a lot of the games that I play are pretty much over 100 gigs or close to 100 gigs. So Black Ops Cold War, I believe, was like 120 gigs. And then Warzone is like another 80 gigs. And then there's Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is 50 or 60 gigs. And then there's Spider-Man Remastered for the PlayStation 5, which is another couple of gigs. And slowly but surely, you will notice that it takes up a lot of space really fast. And unlike the Xbox Series X, the PlayStation 5 does not come with expandable storage for the SSD yet. You can use an external HDD, but it won't load up games as fast, and I truly don't think I'm gonna do that. So I'm just gonna run with a few games that I truly want to play. I might keep, Miles Morales, Astro's Playroom, of course, which is absolutely a beautiful game, Call of Duty, and whatever new games are coming out, probably Cyberpunk. But yeah, hopefully Sony delivers on an extra SSD for our PlayStation 5, because, oh man, storage is being taken up. Now, if we talk on the UI, beautiful, fast, sleek, and unique. Oh yeah, that rhymed. Compared to the PlayStation 4, the store, you instantly access the store. You can find everything super fast. Everything's just pretty much instant. Even the checking out process, which is maybe 2 clicks, which is kind of scary. So if you live in a household full of children, you might want to check out the security settings, because it is truly instant on everything, including purchasing items, which I love. The unique design of the tiles of the game. You don't really need themes anymore, because every game that you go on to, including games that are made for PS4, they have their own main menu themes, which is pretty cool, because maybe I don't have to spend money on themes anymore, but I do hope to see them come back. Themes were really significant in my PlayStation 4 time. And yeah, there's just so much to talk about within this review. Another thing I wanted to talk about was cards, the player cards in PlayStation 5's new UI. So there are these player cards that you can access within specific games, which will help you load into games even quicker and faster. So for example, on Miles Morales, say you left off from a mission, you can go to your player card, which is under the menu of Spider-Man Miles Morales, and just simply hit square, and it will bring you specifically to that mission, or even in Astro's Playroom. If there's a specific world that you want to go to and you don't want to go through the menus of the game, you can go through these cards, find that world, press square, and it will simply basically fast travel you to that in under just a few seconds, which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. The price point for the PlayStation 5 is $499.99, so about $500 and some tax. Then there's the digital version, which is $399.99, so $400 and some tax. I didn't get my hands on the digital version, but I have to say, this is a must buy. Next gen is here, next gen is upon us, and it is absolutely beautiful. You're gonna want to get your hands on this PlayStation 5, and if you want tips and tricks on how to get it, I'll tell you right now. There's a Twitter account. His name is Wario64 on Twitter. He tweets out whenever PlayStation stock is available at Walmart, Target, Best Buy, and online, all types of stores. And you're gonna want to check out those places. You're gonna want updates, especially if you want your hands on these. Christmas season is upon us. Birthdays are coming. Your birthday's coming. You want a PlayStation. Get it now. There's no reason to hold out on this. Now, unlike other consoles, I'm not gonna speak on those yet, but you're not gonna wanna hold out on a PlayStation 5. Sony truly delivered next gen. It is amazing, amazing. And I just wanted to tell Sony, thank you so much. There's no gaming experience like gaming on a console. Yes, we have PCs and you can customize it and so on and so forth, but for a budget of $500, you're getting a beautiful experience. And there's nothing like console gaming. There's nothing like picking up a controller, and now with this next gen controller, there is truly nothing like picking up the PlayStation 5 controller and getting that experience that you really want. And oh yeah, I can't wait to see what happens in a few years down the line. Maybe we have our PlayStation 5 Pro, Slim, Generation 2, whatever. But I know Sony will deliver, and I know we have tons of games on the way. We got God of War sequel, we got Spider-Man 2, we got new Call of Duties, all sorts of games coming. I'm ready, and I hope you guys are too. So if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like. Tell me if you got your hands on a PlayStation 5, how was it? What's your favorite game to play on there at the moment? Maybe you have some tips for other viewers. Leave it down in the comment section below. Maybe I don't know a few things. I'll be making a video on the Xbox Series X and my experience with that. Truly different compared to the PlayStation 5. I hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later.